Well, there you are. Again, Charlie Greer podcast. I do this every day. Today. So, mediocrity is a weapon. Wrap your head around that. So what does that mean? Mediocre it's medium, average, you know. We all are. I'm not this is not about me like, oh well, see, I none of that. None of that. We all are. Mediocre. Um, then I'll get to how you make it a weapon. So, yeah, we're all mediocre. I mean, look at my podcast. At best, it might be average, below average. You know, there's people. So there's, most of the things that we do are just average. We're people, and but then we have talents. We could. Um, but then there's people that are like average, below average, and this strutting around, peacocking, like I'm the best there. Really. So mediocrity. We all are pretty much average. Again, we have some talents, uh, um, and they weaponize everything. And let me just like when I've done things, creative stuff, bands, this, that, that, whatever. There's a certain uh, average individual who will use subversion and just I self me and they're competitive and they again I'm competitive too but not to the point where I'm gonna like hold someone back. Come here. I've never been that way. I mean you got to have a little competitive bone in your body. You can't like that's how a lot of people get ahead, man. They're not that good. They'll just create problems for you. We've all had to deal with that. And there's certain powers that be that know you don't have to tell anybody what you're doing. You just have to have a certain average kind of person, put them in control or power, and you don't have to tell them what to do. They'll just do all this dumb shit. They're vindictive, they're vengeful, they're competitive, and in a bad way. Uh, we all have dealt. That's the whole. If you know about the IQ bell curve, if you really understand that, that's going to scare you because the top IQs is this very little top, and then it gets down, it gets further out the bell, like this. And then, I was watching this documentary about it, and they're like, look, think of the dumbest person you've ever met. Most people in the world are dumber than that. And you're like, are you shitting me? Yes, that's, and there's nothing wrong with being, I'm dumb too. Certain things again, all of us are dumb certain way, and we have genius, and that's another thing. We have like a palette of paint. We're not, the difference is we're not weaponizing it to get ahead to. So how do you weaponize that stuff? So, and I forgot the name of this study. It happened back like in the 20s. Maybe right around there. It was back in the day. So they had a think tank, and this was done by like the US government. What is the most like damaging weapon? So you get think tanks, you get like scientists, artists, doctors, everybody, professor, everybody get them, a think tank. And they're thinking of like, well, you take a million gallons of gas and then you're going to shoot it with they're thinking about a weapon. And then it boiled down to what was the most dangerous weapon? The typewriter. Again, it's something that's average. The typewriter. Why the typewriter? Because the typewriter creates the words that you print in the newspaper, in the books and stuff. You control that. You can do everything. It's a weapon. They weaponized it. You start using propaganda. You start, as I said, you don't need a gun. You can just, people will fight with amongst themselves from what you write. And their ivory towers and, see. Again, this is kind of hard to wrap your mind around. Us average folk, us mediocre. Because we all are. Again, we can have a tinge of genius and we have skills and this, that, and the other. But man, people are people. And the difference is are you going to use are you a narcissist? See, narcissism, that's a thing. You can, and they'll always blame you. No, I didn't. I didn't. Yeah, you did. You can film them acting that way and show it to them, and they're like, no, that ain't me. You're the one that made me do it. When I taught vocal lessons, every now and then I'd get like a narcissist come through my door and ask if they could videotape themselves with their phone. Sure. I didn't even touch the phone. I've said this before. I've told this story before. Didn't touch the phone. And of course, they want to learn the hardest song there is, and they're tone deaf and they, just off key and, but working with them. And so they film it themselves and they're like, okay, I want to watch it back. I mean, that's what I immediately want to see themselves. And they're, and then they see the reality. Oh, and they freak out and blame you. What did you do? What do you mean, what did I do? You must have messed with the video. I didn't touch your phone. That's how you sound. No, it's not. Delusional. And nowadays, these people are in power. They will not, shit. They've weaponized everything. Food, religion, education, the music industry, just keep everything. How do you start? You got to hold down the genius, the people that are actually, again, average, but have these genius talents they've worked on, you know what I mean? We're all mediocre unless we start working on that, become a great songwriter, painter, whatever. Now you got to hold those people down. You want people that will cooperate. You want people that'll follow the fool, that haven't you noticed in music? What? And everything. Like I've been watching football again with my buddy, and it's just like, what did they do to football? They've made all these changes, and then the refs are all, it ain't about football, man. It's like these refs and shit. There's stuff that's average, that's genius too. Like with something I like music. So the Ramones are one of my favorite bands. Technically, they're not that great, but what they do is genius. That's just me. That's just my style, my taste. Other people listen to like, Marone, what the? Johnny Thunders is one of my favorite guitar players. Technically, he's not the best. He's the king of the slop. But to me, I love it. His style, and you can be subversive without weaponizing it. You know what I mean? You can be cool and, subversive, like kind of like Keith Richards, Johnny Thunder. But I'm talking about like lying by omission, not allowing, like, who's the best here? Oh, no, they're not. When you know they are. I've been in so many meetings, like creative meetings, where they don't even talk about anything about creativity. It's just I self me. What can I take this and we control and of course, me being the dumbass, I'll speak up. See, I've got a bad reputation of like basically just not letting people run over me, and then they talk shit about you, man. They slander you. They do this. They make up lies, and they'll project onto you what they do. Well, he's a drug dealer. Like, I never sold any drugs. Coming from a drug dealer. Just stupid. I just go about my day. It's like, oh my God. And also they kind of know, even subconsciously, like I'm not out there. I'm not in the drama. I'm not looking for a, war of words. Even none of that. Again, even my podcast, it's average, below average maybe. And there's people on the YouTube, man. YouTube is awash with horrible podcasts that are doing great. So that's giving me, hey, that's inspiring me. I can't believe some of these shows. These people are mouth breathing fools. But they're successful. They're hey. Again, that inspires me I can also be a mouth breathing fool. Again, I'm not exempt from any of this I'm talking about. I'm not one of these, well, no, see, point the finger. I'm including myself with this. And technically, we've all done certain things. As far as like, you just want to get ahead and you think about it. But with me, it's like I have a conscience. I do a personal inventory. Like, wait a minute, I don't know if this is worth I don't want to be, I'm feeling, I'm an empath perhaps. I don't know. I just feel for people. So I'm not going down that road. And I could, even with my podcast now, I know I could be doing certain things that make me more popular and I could get monetized. Nope, I'm not going to do it. And I've done this all through, if you want to call it a career, uh, what's kind of held me back. But there's this certain like standards that I have. Like I'm an artist. It's like an umbrella. Under that umbrella, an artist. I'm a musician. I'm a painter. I'm a writer. I do all kinds of stuff. There's people I know. I've had friends. They're musicians. That's what they do. You know, the day every day. And I can't do that. I want to paint. I want to cook. I want to hang out with my dog. I want to like this a lot of leave alone time. You know, to contemplate what my next step will be. Some people aren't like that. They just now. Granted, I'll have more output because they're it's busy work. They're just busy doing all this stuff that really doesn't mean much. You know, it's like the rabbit and the turtle. You know, eventually the turtle takes off running. Here comes a slow, you know, I mean, the rabbit takes off running. Then the turtle thinks he's ahead and he takes a nap and slow, you know, the turtle goes right by him. It's like that. But they're weaponizing everything, promoting this said mediocrity, which is not good when it comes to like the arts and politics and certain things you need. So for instance, say your house is on fire. Don't you want the best fireman? You don't want some average, below average. Oh, well, no. You want the dude that will dive into there, like risk his own life. That's what I'm talking about. Not allowing certain people, I shouldn't say the best, but certain people with talents, well, they'll just hold them back. Like we can't have him around, or she, or whoever it is. In the arts, you can't have these people around because how can I put this? They validate your stagnant creative output. The people when they know this, they don't want you around because you know, everything I've ever done, I've had to deal with this. Where and I like people being better than me. A lot of people don't want anybody better than them around. They want somebody that's lower, you know. No, I want to be inspired, man. I like to see people like, oh my God, this is great. No. Because again, I'm average. You know, I have a touch of genius here and there I could do, but it's not like, again, what's the difference? It's that I'm not like holding people back. I'm not using my mediocre talents to subversively get myself ahead. That's a thing. Now that's all there's. I mean, that's why you're not seeing the next Led Zeppelin. That's why you're not seeing the next Van Gogh. I mean, for what Van Gogh, I think he spoke like one painting in his life. Pardon me. He only painted for like 3 years. He wanted to be like a priest or something. Started painting. He's great. People don't want. Oh no. Or he was just too innovative. They didn't understand. And then his paintings sell. I mean, he's been dead for over 100 years. It's that, and it's been going on all through time. But now it seems like they're focusing. It'll come like in a wave. Like it comes and goes. And I mean, most, again, creative meetings I've been in, meaning you get to a certain point, you have to talk to people about, you know, basically it's like a bank loan. It's like you're dealing with a bank. You're just taking the worst loan you could ever imagine, like a movie studio or Purdue, whatever. And I thought like, wow, I'm excited. I'm going to meet these great minds. No, huh? How did you get ahead? Oh, I see. They'll scold you for talking about, like I've went into meetings about my scripts, my book, my music, and they don't want to talk about that. Oh no. Then why are we even here then? Because I need the control. I was on an audition back in the day at CBS, and I forgot what it was for. And I go into the lobby, and there's a person there at the desk, and there's this one person. It's a big lobby too, and it's nice. And there's these couches, and there's this one dude sitting there, and so I check in, okay, check in, and I'm walking, and I look, and he's an actor that I know, and I forgot his name. He played Mo Green in The Godfather. Mo Green. I'm thinking, what? And here's this. I got to talk to this guy. I usually wouldn't, but there was nobody. It was just him and me. And I'm like, excuse me, sir. I'm like, oh, hey. He was totally cool. And we start talking. And we're talking about Mo Green, The Godfather, this, that, and the other. And they'll make you wait, I was waiting, but he'd been there and I go, what? Why are they making you wait? Like, what do you? And he goes, oh yeah, that's a thing. And he goes, they're probably doing this so the producer I need to talk to later on tonight can make fun of me over martinis. Be like, yeah, I made that Mo Green wait in the lobby, that kind of shit. And of course, I got called. He didn't, and we weren't up for the same thing. He was older, but he was waiting. He said he'd been there for hours. And I waited about half an hour. Then they called me, and I went and did whatever I did. Came back. He's still there. I sat down with him and talked even more. And he just kind of laughed it off. Like, he's like, dude, this is this. And I don't even think he knew why they're there. We're going to talk to him about something kind of creative. We got something going on. Say, we want to. Like that. Over and over and over again. I've seen this. It's sad. Some of the best songwriters I've ever met haven't done that much because they don't have the emotional strength to, they're not looking to, they're an artist. They're a songwriter. They're not dealing with all these like social manipulations. You better get your alligator skin on if you want to do anything, especially creative. You got shit. It's tough. It's sad too. When you like put all this in and then you're like, oh, this is what it is. And you'll see people that are literally like stumbling over their feet. It just succeeding. Because they'll just do anything they've been told. And everybody's a cash register too. You got to, they've weaponized cash registers, but you got to, until you know how much money you make them in life. Of course, you're going to make money. And I've said this before. It's just that, a lot of people, especially in the arts, and I know this is with everything, it's not necessarily your talent. It's your social skills. Forget about your IQ. It's how you're gonna. I've never been like that. People do it in dating. People do it all over the place. It's just everywhere. It's human behavior. I don't think it can be changed. I've read certain ancient books, and that's what they talk there. Oh my God, like people are people. And sometimes you can't, you're stuck in a box of mediocrity is a weapon. Yeah, it gets deep. And then the people they'll do it subconsciously. And then there's literally think tanks that people sit around and they don't want the best. They want a narcissist sociopath. Like, say if you're in like corporate business, someone who's like an empath and they can't fire like 10,000 people in one day, knowing that some of them will lose their house, get a divorce, do all, you need somebody that'll just like, hey, just go through people and then go, drink at lunch and no big deal, and do it the next day. And then, that's kind of how the world goes around. Our modern world, I forgot who said this. I was watching something and they said without like narcissism and sociopaths in this day and age, we couldn't even operate because we need people that'll do that. Of course, they're making a lot of money, but they don't really care about the money. It's the buzz of just controlling people, and they get off on it, man. They're a sadist. They get joy from seeing people in pain. That's a thing. It's sad. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that's just how it is. What are you going to do? Keep doing what you're doing. I think we need more art. I think we need more like art programs, whatever that may be, ballet, who knows, just um, painting, guitars, pianos, I don't, whatever. More mental health too. People need help with their mental health. And they've weaponized mental health. I mean, it's like a stigma to have like mental. We all have a little bit of mental things going on. It's how you deal with it, how you work it out. Uh, no, they don't want that. Oh no, it's rough. It'll probably get worse before it gets better. That's how it usually happens. Because I've got the levels with about everything I've done, and you have to meet the local people, then the people that are behind the scene, the fanzine magazine, and then the people that run the, whatever, and then get to a certain level. It's literally like you're borrowing money. You're at a bank. Say if you want to sell your script or whatever, you're taking money from. They're taking a big percentage. You're not getting anything basically. I mean, you will, but they're taking the majority. And the same types of people. I guess you need those types of people. I don't know. I could never deal with them. Literally, I've been at, they see me coming. I assume they're like, nope, nope. They can just read you too. They can look at me and go, man, there's no way. Wait, because they know I'm not going to be controlled. I'm not going to do this, that, and the other. And I'm not into a lot of busy work, like sitting around meetings and brainstorming and, this, that. No, let's change that. Nuh-uh. Nope. I'd rather not. Well, you're sabotaging yourself. No, I'm not, because I couldn't live with myself if I did do these said things you want me to do. And of course, make you a fortune. Like on my book, Rant of the Madman, Charlie Greer, Rant of the Madman. You can go check it out. Came out in 2003. Never been paid. Never. And I used to kind of rant and rave and try to get a hold of them, get them on the phone, talk to lawyers. And it's just like, you know what? I mean, I used to have a producer that pitching because I own the movie rights. I used to contact writers. Hell, you can write the script, and then it just sucks the energy out of you. You again, I'm an artist. I'm not like a businessman. I'm not about the next. That's why you need cool business people. I mean, again, it's what it is. Some things will never change. Look into the typewriter weapon theory thing. I should have researched this a little bit more. Here you go. I'm showing my mediocrity right now. I'm average about certain things, most things. So I'm not pointing the finger at anybody. I point my finger at me first. But there's other things that I'm like, hey. But there's some people like, oh no, I am the G. I've never done anything. No average in my. Yeah. You are. You just don't want to admit it. But I do this every day. I'm going to cut this one short today. I do this every day, ranting like a madman. A mediocre madman, if you will. So I'll be back tomorrow. Oh, like, share, subscribe. See, I should have been promoted. Sam, I'm horrible. I'm average at promotion too. Like, share, subscribe. If you want to support the channel, the information is in the description for Zelle. And I love y'all. Be blessed. Cheers.